Hey, English learners. Welcome back to Slowburn English, the podcast where tiny steps lead to big changes. I'm Emma.
And I'm Liam. So nice to have you here again.
Liam, today we're talking about something a little quiet.
Quiet.
Yeah, quiet, but very, very powerful.
Okay, now you have me curious.
Today's episode is called The Quiet Power of Doing Less.
Doing less. That sounds strange, right? Because everywhere we look, people say do more, work more, study more.
Exactly. And we wanted to slow down for a second and ask a different question.
What if doing less is actually doing more?
I love that. What if doing less is actually doing more?
It sounds like a riddle.
A little. But by the end of this episode, I think it will feel very simple.
And very useful.
Yes. So, grab your tea, your coffee, your notebook, or just close your eyes and listen.
This is for you. For the tired ones. For the busy ones. For the people who feel like they are running, but never arriving.
You're not alone. We've been there too.
So let's slow down together.
Tiny steps, big changes.
Let's go.
Okay, Liam, I want to tell you a story.
I'm ready.
So, last Saturday morning, I woke up early, maybe 7. The sun was soft, the room was warm, and I felt good.
A nice start.
A nice start. And then I opened my notebook and I made a list.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, a long list. I wrote, write 3 articles, read 2 chapters of a new book, meet 2 friends for coffee, clean the kitchen, do the laundry, call my mom, go for a walk, cook a real dinner, plan next week.
That's not a Saturday, that's a full week.
I know now, but in that moment, I felt strong. I thought, today, I will do everything.
And then
The day started. I wrote half of 1 article. I read maybe 10 pages. I met 1 friend, but I was tired, so I didn't really listen to her. I cleaned a little. I called my mom for 5 minutes. And by the evening, Liam, I sat on the sofa and I felt empty. Not just tired, empty.
That sounds exhausting just to hear.
Right? Exhausting means very, very tired. And here's the strange part. I did a lot.
But
I felt like I did nothing. Nothing felt finished. Nothing felt deep. I touched 10 things, but I didn't really live in any of them.
that is such a common feeling.
It is. And I think a lot of you listening know this feeling. You run all day, but at night you ask yourself, what did I really do?
It's a quiet kind of sadness.
Yes. And that night, I wrote 1 sentence in my notebook.
What was it?
I said, maybe I should try doing less.
And that is where today's episode begins. So, Emma, here's a question. Why do we feel guilty when we do less?
That's the big one. I think because the world tells us every day, busy is good.
Right. If someone asks, how are you? And you say, I'm so busy, people smile like it's a good thing.
But if you say, I had a quiet week, I rested, I did one thing slowly, people look at you strange.
Like you're broken.
Exactly. Like something is wrong with you. But nothing is wrong. You just chose differently.
So doing less is not lazy, it's a choice.
Yes. And here's an image I love. Think about time as water in a bottle.
Okay.
You have 1 bottle, just 1. You can pour the water into 10 tiny cups, and every cup gets a few drops.
Or you can pour it into 1 full glass.
That's beautiful.
Doing too much is the 10 tiny cups. Doing less is the 1 full glass.
1 full glass of water actually means something. You can drink it.
Right. 10 drops in 10 cups means nothing.
And you know what? Researchers at Stanford have noticed something interesting. People who try to do too many things at once actually finish less and feel more tired.
So the science agrees. Doing less is not lazy, it's smart.
It's even kind to your future self.
Kind to your future self. I love that.
Because future you doesn't want to be exhausted again on Sunday night.
No, future you wants to feel rested, refreshed.
And here's the truth. Doing less takes courage,
It does, because everyone around you is running.
but you can choose to walk.
And before we go deeper, we just want to say thank you.
Yeah, really, thank you.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for your likes, your kind comments, and the messages you send us.
It honestly means a lot to us. Slowburn English is a small, slow, quiet space, and you make it feel like home. So if today's episode speaks to you, please leave us a comment.
Your English brain goes to the gym every time you write a comment in English. Even one sentence helps.
Even I am tired is a sentence. Even I want to do less is perfect English practice.
And don't worry if your English isn't perfect. Mine isn't either, sometimes.
None of us are. We're all under construction.
Always under construction. And that's okay.
This episode is for B1 learners, so the words today are simple. The sentences are short, but the ideas are deep.
Take your time. Pause the video if you need. Listen twice. That is doing less, but doing it well.
Doing less, but doing it well.
And here's our question for you today.
What is one thing you could remove from your week? Just one.
Tell us in the comments. We read every one.
Okay, now let's go deeper.
So Emma, the first big idea today.
Yes, doing less is not being lazy. Doing less is choosing.
Choosing. Tell me more.
When you do everything, you choose nothing. You just react. Email comes, you answer. Phone rings, you pick up. Friend asks, you say yes. Boss asks, you say yes again. By the end of the day, you didn't choose your life chose you.
That's heavy.
It is. But when you do less, you stop and ask, what is important today? What truly matters?
And then you put your time on that one thing.
Exactly. Like a battery.
A battery?
Yeah. Think about your phone. If your phone has only 1% battery, can it run all day?
No, it dies in 5 minutes.
Right. You are also a battery. If you give 1% of your energy to 50 things, you have nothing left.
But if you give 50% of your energy to one important thing,
That thing actually grows. That thing actually changes your life.
that makes sense. So doing less is like protecting your battery.
Yes, and every yes you say is energy out. Every no is energy saved.
Wow, so saying no is not rude, it's wise.
It's very wise. Saying no to small things is saying yes to your priority. Priority means the most important thing.
I want to share my story now.
Please.
So last month, I was very distracted. Distracted means your mind keeps going to other things, you know? I couldn't focus. I'd open one tab, then another, then check my phone, then forget what I was doing.
I know that feeling.
So one Sunday, I sat down. I looked at my phone. I had 32 apps. 32.
That's a lot.
I started deleting. News app, gone. 2 social media apps, gone. 3 games I never play, gone. A shopping app I don't need, gone. I deleted 5 apps in 5 minutes.
How did that feel?
Strange, a little scary, like what if I miss something?
Fear of missing out.
Yeah, but then that night I sat on my balcony, no phone, just me, a cup of tea, the sky, and for the first time in many months, I sat still for 10 minutes without checking anything.
10 minutes of quiet.
10 minutes of quiet. And you know what, Emma? I felt refreshed. Refreshed means feeling new energy again. I didn't do anything, but I felt better after a whole busy day.
Because you stopped reacting, you chose stillness.
Yes, I chose less, and less gave me more.
That's the magic. Less gives more.
And this is true for English learners too.
Tell us.
You don't need 10 apps. You don't need 5 YouTube channels, 3 textbooks, and 2 teachers. You need one thing. One podcast like ours. One notebook. 10 minutes a day.
Done slowly. Done with care.
Done again tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after.
That is how English really enters your brain. Not in big floods, in tiny drops.
Tiny drops every day fill the glass.
The full glass we talked about earlier.
Yes, so today, before we move on, ask yourself, what is your one thing? What is your full glass?
Not 10 things. One.
One.
And do that one thing, slowly, with all your heart.
That is the quiet power of doing less.
Okay, so we talked about the gift of doing less. Now let's talk about the cost of doing too much.
The cost, because there is a cost.
There always is, even when we don't see it.
Right, doing too much looks like winning, but it has a hidden price.
Hidden, like a quiet thief.
So what do we lose, Emma?
First, we lose attention. Our mind becomes, how do I say it, like a brain on mute.
Brain on mute. What do you mean?
You know when you watch a video but the sound is off? You see the picture, but you don't really hear it. You don't really understand.
Yes.
When we do too much, our brain is like that. We see things, we touch things, but nothing really enters. We are present, but not really there.
That is a beautiful image. Brain on mute.
I had this last week. I was at dinner with a friend. She was telling me something important, about her father, I think. And I was nodding, smiling, but my mind was somewhere else, thinking about emails, thinking about my list. And later, she asked me a question about what she said, and I had nothing. I didn't remember. I felt so bad.
Because you weren't really there.
I was there with my body, but my brain was on mute.
That's the cost. We are with people, but not with them. We do work, but it's not our best work.
We eat, but we don't taste. We walk, but we don't see.
We live, but we don't really live.
That hits hard.
It does. So I want to share something my cousin did. Her name is Mia.
Tell me.
Mia is always busy. 2 jobs, 3 hobbies, a dog, friends every weekend. Last month, she felt very tired all the time, even on Monday morning, even after sleeping.
That deep tired.
So she tried something. 1 day a week, Sunday, no phone, no work, nothing big, just slow things. A walk, a coffee, a book.
And?
First Sunday was hard. She said she felt nervous, like she was missing something. She kept reaching for her phone.
That is so real.
But by the 3rd Sunday, something changed. She remembered she likes painting. She painted for 2 hours. She remembered she likes the smell of bread. She baked some. She remembered her old friend, Anna, and she called her.
Things she had forgotten.
Things her busy life had hidden from her.
That is so beautiful. Doing less let her remember who she is.
Yes, the busy version of Mia was overwhelmed. Overwhelmed means too much at once. The quiet version of Mia was herself.
Herself. That is the best word.
And in English, the same thing happens.
How?
If you cram 50 new words English today, by tomorrow your brain is on mute. You won't remember them. You'll feel tired. You'll feel like a bad learner.
But you're not a bad learner. You just did too much.
Right. 5 words a day, slowly, with examples, with feeling. Those 5 words stay with you.
Forever almost.
Forever almost, because you weren't on mute. You were there.
So doing too much is a thief. It steals our attention. It steals our memory. It steals our joy.
And the worst part, we don't even notice.
We just feel tired and we don't know why.
But now you know.
Now you know, and knowing is the first tiny step.
Okay, Emma, our 3rd big idea, and this is the heart of Slowburn English.
Tiny steps, big changes.
Yes, our tagline, but what does it really mean?
It means the quiet power of doing less is not just about removing things. It's also about doing small things again and again and again.
Small, consistent. Consistent means doing the same thing again and again over time.
That word is so important. Consistent. Not big, not loud, just there, every day.
Like brushing your teeth. You don't brush for 2 hours on Sunday. You brush 2 minutes every day.
Right. And imagine if someone said, I will brush my teeth 10 hours next month. We would say, that's strange and bad for your teeth.
But we say that about English. I will study 10 hours this Saturday. And then Saturday comes, we are tired, we study 1 hour, we feel bad, we stop.
And then we feel like a failure.
But we're not failures, we just chose the wrong size.
The wrong size. I love that.
Big actions look strong, but tiny actions are stronger because tiny actions you can actually do.
Every single day.
I want to tell you about Sarah.
Who is Sarah?
Sarah is a learner I heard about. She wanted to speak English well, so she made a plan. Every Saturday, 2 hours, hard study.
Big plan.
Big plan. But you know what happened?
She didn't do it.
She did it for 2 Saturdays. Then she missed one. Then 2. After a month, she stopped.
So familiar.
But then Sarah tried something different. She said, I will listen to one English podcast for 10 minutes every morning with my coffee.
10 minutes. So small.
So small that she couldn't say no. Even on bad days, she had 10 minutes. Even on tired days, even on rainy days.
And what happened?
After 1 week, 10 minutes felt easy. After 1 month, she added 5 minutes more. After 3 months, her ear was different.
Her ear?
Her listening. She started understanding things she didn't understand before without trying.
That is the magic.
After 6 months, she had a conversation in English with a tourist in her city. She wasn't perfect, but she was speaking with confidence.
From 10 minutes a day?
From 10 minutes a day. That is momentum.
Momentum. Tell us what that means.
Momentum means small actions that grow stronger over time, like a small ball rolling down a hill. At first, it goes slowly, but it keeps going, and soon it is moving fast.
You don't have to push hard every day. You just have to keep the ball moving.
Tiny steps, big changes.
So if you are listening and you feel like I'm not doing enough, please hear this.
You don't need to do more, you need to do less, but every day.
1 word a day, 1 sentence a day, 1 10-minute podcast.
That's it. That's the secret.
That's the slow burn.
That's why we called this channel Slowburn English, because slow does not mean weak.
Slow means deep.
Slow means it stays.
Slow means it changes you quietly over time.
And one day you wake up and you are a different person. A person who speaks English, a person who chose less, a person who lives more.
And you didn't even notice it happening.
That is the quiet power.
That is the quiet power of doing less. Okay, before we go to our word tour, we have a small challenge for you.
A tiny challenge. Of course.
Of course, for the next 7 days, 3 small things.
1. Each day, choose one thing to remove. Just one. Maybe an app, maybe a meeting, maybe a habit that tires you.
2. Choose one small thing to do slowly. Drink your coffee without your phone. Walk without music. Eat 1 meal in silence.
Write 1 sentence in English in our comments. Start with, this week I will do less.
That's it. 3 tiny things. 7 days.
It's okay if you miss a day. Just start again. Don't quit. Begin again.
Tiny steps, big changes. You can do this.
And now, before we close, let's slow down for our word tour and look again at some of the most useful words from today.
Yes, because this episode was all about doing less, and the words today are gentle, simple, but very useful.
Let's begin.
First word, stuck.
Stuck means you can't move, like when your shoe is in the mud and you try to walk, but you can't.
For example, I feel stuck in my routine.
Or she felt stuck in a busy life she didn't choose.
Repeat, stuck.
Stuck.
Next, overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed means too much at once, when 10 things come to you and you don't know where to start.
For example, I felt overwhelmed by my long list.
Or don't try to learn too many words, you will feel overwhelmed.
Repeat, overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed.
Next, intentional.
Intentional means done on purpose, with care, not by accident.
For example, I want to be more intentional with my time.
Or slow learning is intentional learning.
Repeat, intentional.
Intentional.
Next, consistent.
Consistent means doing the same thing again and again over time.
For example, 10 minutes a day is more powerful than 2 hours once a week because it is consistent.
Or a consistent habit changes your life.
Repeat, consistent.
Consistent.
Next, distracted.
Distracted means your mind keeps going to other things. You cannot focus.
For example, I was distracted by my phone all morning.
Or, when I am distracted, I cannot really listen to my friend.
Repeat, distracted.
Distracted.
Next word, mindful.
Mindful means paying soft, kind attention to right now, to this moment.
For example, I try to be mindful when I drink my morning tea.
Or, mindful walking means walking and feeling each step.
Repeat, mindful.
Mindful.
Next, priority.
Priority means the most important thing, the thing that comes first.
For example, sleep is my priority this month.
Or, when you do less, you can see your real priority.
Repeat, priority.
Priority.
Next, exhausting.
Exhausting means very, very tiring, something that takes all your energy.
For example, doing too much is exhausting.
Or, that meeting was exhausting. I need to rest.
Repeat, exhausting.
Exhausting.
Next, refreshed.
Refreshed means feeling new energy again. Clean, light, ready.
For example, after my quiet morning, I felt refreshed.
Or, a short rest can leave you feeling refreshed.
Repeat, refreshed.
Refreshed.
And our last word, momentum.
Momentum means small actions that grow stronger over time, like a ball rolling down a hill, getting faster and faster.
For example, 10 minutes of English a day builds momentum.
Or, don't break your momentum. Keep going, even if it's small.
Repeat, momentum.
Momentum.
10 beautiful words.
All gentle, all useful, all for you.
Try to use one of them today, in a comment, in your notebook, in your head.
Your English brain goes to the gym every time you use a new word.
Tiny steps, big changes. Liam, we're at the end already.
That went fast. Or maybe it went slow, in a good way.
In a slow burn way.
So let's remember together what we talked about today.
We talked about 3 big ideas.
1. Doing less is not lazy. Doing less is choosing what truly matters. Like a battery, you cannot give 1% of yourself to 50 things. You must protect your energy.
Yes, and every no you say is a yes to your real priority.
2. Doing too much has a hidden cost. Our brain goes on mute. We are present with our body, but not with our heart. We forget what people say. We forget what we feel. We forget who we are.
Like Liam's cousin Mia, she had to do less, just 1 day a week to remember she likes painting, to remember she likes bread, to remember her old friend.
Doing less helps us come home to ourselves.
I love that. Come home to ourselves.
And 3, tiny steps, big changes. Like Sarah, who learned English not in big plans, but in 10 quiet minutes every morning, with her coffee, for 6 months. And one day she had a real conversation in English with confidence.
From 10 minutes a day, that is momentum.
That is the quiet power of doing less. Less but every day. Less but with care. Less but real.
So if you are tired today, please hear us. You don't need to do more. You need to do less well.
One thing, done slowly, done again tomorrow.
That is enough. You are enough. You are not behind. You are right where you should be.
And remember, you're not alone. We are all here, going slowly, together.
Under construction, always.
Always under construction. And that's okay.
Before we go, please tell us in the comments what is one thing you will do less of this week. We read every comment.
And it doesn't matter if your sentence is short or has small mistakes. Your English brain goes to the gym every time you write.
It honestly means a lot to us.
It really does.
If this episode helped you today, please give us a like, subscribe to Slowburn English, and share it with one friend who is also tired. Just one friend, because tiny steps, right?
Tiny steps, big changes.
This was Slowburn English. I'm Emma.
And I'm Liam. Take care, keep going, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Your progress doesn't end here. To continue advancing your English skills, click on the next video or explore the additional videos we've thoughtfully selected for you.